Because I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, my wife urged me to give up treatment and leave all my assets to our son. Even my 8-year-old, Kevin, had absorbed it all, asking me more than once, "Dad, when are you going to kick the bucket? Mom says I can't get my inheritance until you're gone." Later, when I went back to the hospital for a follow-up, a zombie outbreak hit. To save themselves, Brenda and Kevin tried to trick me into a horde of zombies. But when Brenda learned I carried a precious zombie serum, she righteously demanded my blood. "We're family. It's your duty to save me." I slammed the door, trapping her in a room swarming with zombies. "Sorry, I don't know you." All the way from the hotel to the hospital, Brenda and Kevin were fuming. Once we got there, they plopped down on the waiting room bench. They wouldn't stop muttering. "Typical, burning through our money. I told you it's a lost cause, but no, you just had to come to this fancy hospital. It's a money pit. Mom, you promised that house would be put in my name. Dad won't go back on his word, right?" My heart felt utterly cold. I dragged my body, still battling a low fever, into the long registration line. My nose felt warm, and then a nosebleed started again. I quickly cupped my hand over it, my eyes searching for the restroom. It was the weekend, and the first floor lobby was packed, stretching as far as the eye could see. The anxious questions of patients and their families, the shouts of doctors and nurses clearing paths, the constant calling of numbers over the loudspeaker, it all blended into a chaotic mess that made my head pound. People were pressed so close, even breathing felt difficult. It was like I was inhaling everyone else's exhaled carbon dioxide. Amidst the noise, a piercing scream caught everyone's attention, but it lasted only a few seconds. After all, in a hospital, screams and cries were nothing out of the ordinary. People murmured and speculated, sighing at fate's cruel twists. I thought of the stark, sharp words, leukemia, on my test results and let out a bitter laugh. My body had always been so healthy, and I'd kept up a regular exercise routine for years. Anyone who knew me, colleagues or friends, always praised how fit I was. How could I suddenly get leukemia? I don't know how long I'd been waiting. My nosebleed had already stopped. Finally, it was my turn. Just as I was about to hand my ID through the window, a nurse suddenly ran in from the side, anxiously whispering something to the nurse at the counter. That nurse gave me a one-moment gesture, stood up, and left. I muttered about my bad luck. Soon, impatient grumbling started behind me. People in line couldn't wait. Many moved to other lines to requeue. I hated to give up on the progress I'd made, so I stayed put, waiting. But quickly, I realized something was off. This was the biggest hospital in the city, with ample medical staff and resources. So, what kind of emergency would pull even a registration nurse away? I waited 10 minutes. She still hadn't come back. After thinking it over, I decided to head to the restroom first to wash the blood off my face. I didn't notice. The moment I stepped into the restroom, the lobby erupted in a chorus of roars and screams.